When my wife said she wanted to break up, she expected panic. Tears, begging, promises to change, maybe even a dramatic speech about how I couldn't live without her. Instead, I just nodded. Okay, I said. The word landed between us like something heavy and final. She blinked, clearly thrown off. That's it. I shrugged, keeping my voice calm. If that's what you want. For a moment, she looked almost amused, like she thought I was playing along with some unspoken script. But then my expression didn't change. I didn't argue. I didn't chase her across the room. I didn't ask why. And that's when the first crack appeared in her confidence. You're not even going to fight for us, she asked. I looked at her carefully. You already decided. Her lips parted slightly, as if she hadn't expected to hear that. We had been married 6 years, and somewhere along the way, love had quietly turned into power. Not obvious power, not shouting or controlling behavior, but subtle tests. Little emotional games to see how much I would tolerate, how quickly I would apologize, how far she could push before I pushed back. This wasn't the first time she had threatened to leave. But it was the first time I didn't try to stop her. I thought you cared, she said softly. I do, I replied, but caring about someone doesn't mean convincing them to stay. She crossed her arms, defensive now. So you're just giving up? No, I said, I'm respecting your decision. Those words seemed to irritate her more than anger would have. You're being cold. I'm being honest. She packed a small bag that night, moving louder than necessary, drawers slamming, hangers clattering, footsteps heavy with frustration. Every sound felt like it was meant to provoke a reaction. I stayed on the couch, scrolling through my phone, not because I wasn't hurting, but because I refused to perform the role she expected. Finally, she stood in the doorway with her bag. I'm going to my sister, she said. I nodded, okay. Silence stretched between us. You're not even going to ask me to stay, she pressed. No. Her eyes flashed with anger, but beneath it was something else, fear. Fine, she snapped, maybe I won't come back. That's your choice. She stared at me for a long moment, searching my face for hesitation, weakness, anything she could grab onto. There was none. The door slammed behind her hard enough to shake the walls. The house felt strangely peaceful afterward. Not empty, not tragic, just quiet. I slept better that night than I had in months. The first message came the next morning. Are you seriously not going to call me? I read it, then set the phone down. An hour later, I guess I know where I stand. By afternoons. So that's it, 6 years and you don't even care. I finally replied. You said you wanted to break up, I'm respecting that. 3 dots appeared immediately, then disappeared, then appeared again. I didn't mean it like that. I stared at the screen. How did you mean it? No reply came for a long time. She came back 3 days later without warning. I opened the door to find her standing there, eyes red, hair messy, anger barely holding together something much softer underneath. Can I come in? She asked quietly. I stepped aside. She walked in slowly, looking around the living room like she expected everything to be different. You didn't even move anything, she said. I had no reason to. She turned to face me. I thought you'd miss me. I did, I admitted. Her expression softened slightly. Then why didn't you call? Because missing someone isn't the same as needing them. But I didn't say that out loud. You said you wanted to leave, I said instead. I believed you. Tears filled her eyes. It was a test. I nodded, I figured. And you failed, she said bitterly. I shook my head. No, I passed. She looked stunned. What does that mean? It means I stopped playing games. She sat on the couch, clutching a pillow like a shield. I just wanted to know if you still cared, she whispered. You've been distant. I've been tired, I said, of feeling like I had to prove my love every time you got insecure. Her shoulders shook as tears spilled down her face. I thought if I threatened to leave you, fight for me, she admitted. Show me I mattered. You do matter, I said gently, but love isn't supposed to feel like a test you can fail. She looked up at me, eyes desperate. So what now? I hesitated. Because this was the moment everything depended on, not just her apology, but whether I was willing to go back to the version of myself who lived in constant emotional uncertainty. I don't know, I said honestly. Her face crumpled. Please don't say that. I'm not punishing you, I said quietly. I'm just not sure we're good for each other anymore. That hurt her more than anger ever could. "You're really going to end 6 years over one mistake?" she asked. "It wasn't one mistake," I replied. "It was the moment I realized how fragile everything was." She left again that evening, but this time the door closed softly. No slamming, no drama, just acceptance. Weeks passed, then months. I heard through mutual friends that she kept expecting me to reach out, that she believed I would eventually come back, apologize, restart the cycle. But I didn't. Not because I stopped loving her. Because I finally loved myself too. Sometimes people don't realize the danger of testing someone's love. If they pass, you feel secure. If they fail, you feel justified. But there's a third outcome no one expects. They stop playing altogether. And that's what happened. My wife said, "Let's break up to test me." I agreed and never looked back. Because the strongest proof of love isn't how hard someone fights to keep you. It's whether they respect you enough not to make you fight at all.